Hi, I'm Nancy. Welcome to Silent Dragon Yoga. Today we're going to be doing a kind of slow flow yoga around the theme of ahimsa or non-violence, which is the first of the ethics of yoga. So we're going to do some breathing first, and then we'll go into warm-ups and postures and come back for some resting. So this will be about 40 to 45 minutes. Take a seat. Let your hips be higher than knees, something to support your hips, and let your back be straight. Relax down into your body. Bring your attention to your breath. Soften the gaze. Invitation to come inside. In Sanskrit, the word for nonviolence is ahimsa, with the idea of doing no harm. Begin to breathe now. Breath comes into the lower belly, into the lower ribs, and then the upper chest in a dirgha breath, and emptying out as fully as possible. Once again, inhale deep into the belly. Lower ribs flare out, upper chest expands. And exhale out as much as possible. Continue with this breathing, making space inside you. It's this space within you that can help you to be nonviolent in your everyday life. As you have space within you, you give space to others as well. Feel the space increasing within the torso as you breathe. Let the lungs fill with air, front and back. Let lungs side to side fill with air. And the lungs top to bottom fill with air. Then opening space down into the belly. Letting the air come into the whole torso, neck, shoulders, even down the arms. Perhaps feeling some tingling in your hands. Continue with this big breathing, allowing air to come down into your hips and legs. Bringing tingling down to the feet. As the body softens, we feel less violence towards our own selves, towards our own bodies, as well as towards others. And letting the dirgha breath, this long, deep breath go. Bring your hands to your sides. Inhale as arms reach out, fingers reach out. Inhale, up, bringing everything inward and upward. Big sun breath. And exhale slowly down. Becoming big enough to hold all the joy, all the sorrow. Inhale once again up, inviting in the harmony of the universe, Hold for just a moment at the top. And exhale down, slowly reaching out through fingertips. Bring hands to thighs. Check in with yourself. Already has some gentleness and softness come into the body. This is the goal of yoga, to become softer, more gentle, more tender, as the mind comes down into the body and the body feels its aliveness. Remove any props that are underneath you and come to a lying position. Coming down onto your back. Let your arms come out from your shoulders, horizontal on each side. Legs come up above the hips. We'll do horizontal scissors. Legs reaching out and crossing. Big and lazy, no rush. Feel the earth underneath your back, underneath your arms and head. Ahimsa, nonviolence, is the foundation of yogic ethics, just as the earth is our foundation. And bringing the scissors a little closer together, a little faster, crossing 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring the legs down. Left leg extends out towards the bottom of the mat. Right leg lifts up. Let the right leg come across the midline of the body over to the left and down towards the bottom of the mat. Open to the right and up, over, down, open to right and up. One more time, letting that hip open. Bring the right leg down. Now raise the left leg up. Let the left leg come across the midline over towards the right and down to the bottom of the mat. A big clock drawing with your leg, and up and over across the body to the right, down and around and up. One more time. And come up. And let that leg come down. Now bring both feet underneath the buttocks. Both arms come alongside the body. Press into the feet and the shoulders as arms and hands rise. Arms come up overhead in a moving bridge. Exhale, arms come down. Hips and hands coming down to the mat together. One more time. Lifting up, strong through the glutes, strong through the hamstrings behind the thighs, and coming down. Now bring the right leg over the left leg, crossing right leg over left leg. Take hold of calves or ankles or feet and pull back gently. Always practicing with nonviolence. So that's where it begins in yoga. Nonviolence with our own bodies, being gentle, finding the gradual way into stretches, into strengthening as we're tender and nonviolent with ourselves. Now let the ankles go and bring both arms up. The right arm comes under the left arm and twists around in eagle arms, and hands in some fashion come together. My fingers are on my palms. Let elbows come towards the ceiling, pointing elbows up towards the ceiling. Feel the shoulder blades coming apart away from each other in the back. And then bringing elbows towards knees, head and shoulders might rise. 2 more times, up and down, and up and down. Unwind arms, unwind legs. Bring the left leg crossed over the right leg. Lift the legs, take hold of them and gently draw them back. A non-violent internal rotation of the hips. Let the mind be in the body, feeling the hips, knowing what it feels like inside, in that space within your body. Then releasing the hands, bring both arms up, left arm goes around right arm into eagle arms once again, elbows up towards the ceiling, and then lifting head and shoulders and arms if you would like, and knees come towards elbows. 2 more times. And come back. Stretch out, big and wide, arms diagonal, legs diagonal, lying like a big star here on the floor. Feel the earth underneath you that gives you the stability, the foundation. It treats you with nonviolence so that you can treat the world with nonviolence. And then bringing hands and legs back in. We'll come up to a sitting position. Legs can be crossed in front of you. If you'd like to have them out in front, if that's more comfortable, that's fine too. Bring your hands back behind your skull, cradling your head. Elbows are wide. Inhale up through the crown, and then exhale. Chin comes down towards the chest. Now pause for a minute before you get all the way down, and press the back of the head into the hands and the hands into the head. Press for 3, 2, and 1. Then letting the chest and chin meet, gradually drawing the chin down towards the chest, lengthening in the back of the neck. And breathing into the back of the neck, softening there. Release and let the head come up. Now we're going to come into eagle legs here, or cow legs, we sometimes call them. So if this is hard for you, I'm bending my right leg, my left leg is bending and coming across. You can always have the bottom leg out straight and the other one across. So that's a modification that you can do. Pause for a moment in this cow leg position. I guess this is a cow that's out of balance, but we are cows that are in balance. And that's the foundation of our nonviolence. Now bring the left arm up by the ear and let that hand come back onto the same shoulder. The right arm comes around and may not meet, fingers may meet, fingers may clasp with each other. Find where you are for this posture. Reaching up with the elbow on the left and down with the elbow on the right. And you notice that one shoulder is internally rotated and one shoulder is externally rotated. Stretching through shoulders, stretching through hips. Breathe into that big space of the body. Release and unwind. Come around to the opposite side. So the left leg now is curled under, or you might have it straight out if you're modifying. And the right leg is on top. So find the place you can be. You might be with this front foot flat on the ground. What works for your hips? Again, non-violence to your hips, right? Now the right arm comes up by the ear, elbow comes up, other hand comes around, and fingers may come towards each other. They may touch. Shoulders might be different on different sides. I broke a collarbone once, so I'm not as good on this side. But coming into your body then, softening, feeling one shoulder coming forward, one shoulder going back. the hips opening. One more long breath here. And unwind. Let's bring legs wide. That feels good after all of this hip internal rotation. Now we'll external rotate for a minute. Bring the hands back behind and let the feet go from side to side. So little toe comes down, then across, and big toe comes towards the floor. And again, we're internally and externally rotating the hips as we do that. Turn the heart so it's going towards the left knee. Bring the hands on either side of that knee. Back is straight. So inhaling up the spine and keeping the back straight. Exhale, bring the chest towards those toes, just slightly, and come back up. Then exhale, hands move forward a little bit, back remains straight, chest comes forward a little bit more. Knee can be soft if it needs to be, or breathe along the back of the leg to open it and come up. Just starting to unfold the body in a very easy, gentle, non-violent way. Bringing the chest in line with the right knee, hands on either side of that knee, long from the tailbone up through the crown. Inhale up. Exhale, back straight, come forward, bringing the chest towards the toes just a little bit and coming back up. This also is easy on the lower back when you do it like this. Once more, inhale and exhale forward. Hands might slide forward a little bit, back remains straight. And if you do want to come over farther, before you come up, straighten the back and then come up. And that is easier on the lower back. Now let's bring our arm around in an arm revolution. Inhale as arm rises. Watch it as it goes up. Gaze goes back and around. Just opening up that shoulder and loosening it up after the stretching we've been doing. And the other side, going in this direction because we tend to bring our shoulders forward as we do computer and phones and so on. And now we're opening up through the shoulder, going against our habits in, again, a tender kind of way. Let's come to a standing position. We'll do a breath of joy. The breath of joy, arms come out, palms facing each other. It's an inhale, inhale wide, inhale, arms are up, and then knees bend and hands with fists up and elbows coming back with a ha. So legs straight, inhale, 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 ha. 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 Go ahead. One more time. And come to a pause. Take a breath, ground down through the feet. Bring one arm up like a monkey, the fingers coming up along the side of the body towards the armpit, and the other side takes a side bend over. So the side bend isn't so big as sometimes. Other arm comes up like a monkey and comes over, coming straight over, keeping chest and face forward. And coming up one more time in each direction. Feeling that stretch now through the hip and the waist, the side ribs, and coming up. Bring the knees wide with hands on knees, and we're going to do a cat-cow where we will let the stomach sink and sternum rises. Exhale, back arches. Once again, open up that front line. Exhale, open up the back line. And one more time. Then coming back, let one shoulder come to the opposite knee, and then the other shoulder to the opposite knee. Perhaps feeling some opening in the upper back as we add flexibility to the spine, creating space between the vertebrae, space for gentle opening, and coming back to center. Now bring arms and feet wide, just like we were on the mat, a big star. And we're going to bring one arm down and one arm over in a nice big side bend, much bigger than the one we did before, the monkey side bend. Now perhaps we're birds flying through the air. One more time in each direction. Feeling the gentle space getting bigger in our bodies. Bring the right hand down to the left ankle and open up on the left side. Breathing into any places that are tight. Inhale up, arms spread out, and then come down to the other side. Allow yoga to bring space into your body, space into your mind, so that you have a bigger container for all your own feelings and those of others. Now let's come into a goddess pose. Knees are wide and they are bent. The knees are pretty much right over the ankles, maybe just a bit before, but not out to the toes. Arms are in cactus position, elbows wide, about 90-degree bend at the elbows. You feel strong with the earth giving you foundation under your feet. Inhale up, exhale down, strong through the thighs and the buttocks muscles, up and down. One more time, up and down. Bring everything back in. We're going to do a lunge now. So trying to open and exercise, strengthen everything in the body as we go through our yoga practice. Opening space so that we can be people who do no harm to ourselves or to others. Coming into a lunge position. The front knee is right above the foot. I have my right foot forward and my left hip is above my left knee. Pressing down into the front foot and the knee and foot in the back. Hips are towards the front of the mat. Bring the arms out to the sides, stretching out through the arms. Lift the arms up, bring palms together above the head, and bring them down. Now let both hands come to the mat, and it might be your fingers, fingertips, or your hands. If you want a book or a block underneath there, you could use that. The upper arm and shoulder comes against the knee. So there's some pressing there of the knee into the arm and arm into the knee. And this opens you up a little bit more. If you want to come down a little farther and get your shoulder in there by the knee, see what's right for you in a do no harm kind of way. Then bringing hands so that they're on either side of the front foot. Tuck the toes on the left foot. And if this is hard for you to come up this way, bring that foot up and come up and then back. If it's possible to just come up into a high lunge, you're on your tiptoes. And arms come up. Hands, palms facing each other. Press back through the heel in the back. It probably won't come to the mat, but pressing the heel back opens you up through the front of the hip, up through the front of the body. Gaze goes up to the area between the wall and the ceiling. One more inhale here. And bring the hands down. Come down onto the knees and switch into a lunge, a knee down lunge on the other side. Press down through front foot and back knee and foot. Hips are towards the front, arms wide. Stretch out through the arms. This time let's turn the palms up so the palms are turning towards the walls on each side of you. Breathing into those arms, feeling the stretch. Then letting fingertips or hands, perhaps with a prop, come down on the inside of the left foot. And the upper arm or the shoulder come against that knee, knee pressing into arm, arm into knee. Opening up through that hip a little bit more. Then bringing the hands on either side of the left foot. The back toe tucks, and you might just come up right away into a high lunge, or you might bring that foot forward and then step back. So find your way up into high lunge. Arms come out to the sides. Bring the arms up overhead. Breathing up. Coming into harmony with the space around you. Bringing arms down. Hands come to the waist and feet come together. Now we're going to come to a prone position on the mat. Bring the arms, the forearms underneath the shoulders into a Sphinx pose. Relax down through the lower back. Hips are anchored. The fronts of the thighs and the front tops of the feet are anchored. Let the shoulder blades rest on the shoulder, on the ribs, and come down just a little bit. The gaze is just in front of the mat, 6 inches or so. Breathing into any place that is talking to you right now. Opening up through waist and chest. Then let torso come down. Arms come down along the sides. Inhale as head and shoulders rise and come down. Then let arms join in. Head, shoulders, and arms rise and come down. Now legs are going to join in. Perhaps you won't come up too far. Find the right place, the non-violent place for you, and come down. Once again, lifting head, shoulders, arms, and legs, pivoting on the hips, up and down. We'll do it one more time, coming to a place where you can sustain for several breaths, feeling the balance here on your hips, the stability in the earth, the balance in your body, the space in your breath, and come down. Now bring the hands underneath the shoulders, elbows are close, toes tuck, come up onto your knees. Then pressing into your feet, come up into downward dog. Let the knees be soft. Press back through the hands, through the sides of the body, elongating through the spine. Then you might paddle your feet a little bit as you feel the calves and the hamstrings loosening up. And it's not so important that heels come down. The point is the long back. Stretching through the side, hips coming back a little farther towards the wall behind you. Then let's come forward into plank. Straight line, and your knees might be down. Modify as you need to. Make sure your hips are not sagging. And then bringing elbows close and knees down. Come into a brief cobra with hands under the shoulders. And come back down. One more time, up into downward dog. Knees soft at first, press back long. And then as arches start to come down towards the mat, reach back. Walk the feet up towards the middle of the mat and hands come back to meet them. Bring the hands up along the thighs and arms come up overhead. Exhale, down into the earth. Then inhale, up through your arms and fingertips. Exhale, hands come down to shins. Press into the shins, elongate through spine. Then knees soft. Let opposite hands come to opposite elbows and dangle down. Long through the back. The middle back, the upper back, the neck, all the vertebrae. Separating just a tiny bit like a string of pearls. Space for you to be the best that you can be in body and mind. And soften the knees, arms spread out, strong through the belly as you come up. Let's bring hands back behind with fingers pointing down on the sacrum, elbows come towards each other. Inhale up. And exhale, arms cross and come up. Hands come back behind once again. Breathe up through sternum, gaze rises. Exhale as knees bend and arms cross, perhaps in the opposite way, and come up once again. Now bring your hands back behind. My hands are back behind, clasped down around my buttocks. Pull down with the hands. Inhale. Exhale as hands clasp and come forward, palms facing forward. Inhale up. And exhale back behind the buttocks. Hands back behind, inhale. Exhale, hands forward. Inhale up. Exhale, hands back behind. And inhale back there. Exhale forward. Inhale up. Exhale around. And come to a pause. Now we'll come back to the mat and come into a warrior two position. Bring the feet so that one foot is feet and toes forward towards the front of the mat, and the other foot is right behind it, the arch of the back foot in line with the heel of the front foot. Front knee is bent, open through the shoulders, stretching out between the fingertips. Warrior two. Coming into this non-violent warrior position. Long, stretching, strong. Press down through both feet. Then bring the front arm around to wrap around the back shoulder. The back arm comes down. And just take the slightest twist here, holding on to the shoulder with the front arm and the back hand coming down. Just a slight twist and then coming back out. Bend the front arm, come down onto the thigh. Top arm comes up and over, long from the back foot up through the hand. Strong through the thigh. Don't let all your weight come down onto that arm. Take weight through your feet and your legs. And then coming up, back hand comes back to the thigh and front arm rises up. The warrior looking to the heavens to find that gentleness in herself and in the world. Then coming back through warrior two, hands come to waist and switch the legs around in the opposite direction. Find your stance. You might be a little closer together, you might be farther apart. Non-violence. Find the place that's right for you. The front knee should be coming towards the second toe. Broad through the hips and the shoulders, reaching out. Warrior reaching out into the world. Feeling that earth stable beneath her. Strong in foundation. Able to reach out with tenderness. Then bending the front arm. We didn't do our twist. First we'll do the twist. So bringing the arm down in the back and the front arm comes around to grip the shoulder gently. For just a bit of a twist. The gaze goes over that shoulder. Then coming back up, bend the front arm, come down onto that front thigh as the back arm comes up and it might come over your shoulder. So if you can feel a long line from the back sole of the foot up through the fingertips, feeling that stretch across the hips, shoulders, ribs. Strong through the legs here. Then that top arm comes down and back to the thigh as the front arm reaches up. Breathe here. Feet stable in the earth. Hand reaching towards the heavens. Let hands come into warrior two once again. Stretch out through fingertips and then bring hands to waist. And toe heel the feet towards each other. We're going to come down into a sitting position. Bring the right foot up by the left thigh and across. Extend out through the right heel. Bring the left hand back behind as a kickstand. So it presses down so that your spine can elongate up. The right hand wraps around the left knee. Inhale up through crown. Exhale as you turn through waist. Inhale up through crown. Exhale, turn through ribs. Inhale up. Exhale round through shoulders. And only then bring the gaze and the chin around. Breathing. Finding the softness, the space in this twist. Relax and unwind. Left foot is extended out and right foot comes up and over. Right hand comes back behind and left hand wraps around. Extend out through that left heel. Inhaling up and exhaling round from bottom to top. How can you be gentle with yourself here? Unwind and relax around. Now let's come to a lying position on the mat. Bring both legs and arms straight up. This is sometimes called dead bug, but I think I'm going to call it a live human. But a human who is not bringing harm to anything. Instead, we are bringing nurturing to our own bodies as the lymph and blood come down into the core of the body towards the heart. Let everything sink down. The muscles of the arms and the legs, of the back, the front of the torso, the back of the neck, the back of the skull. All softening, coming down towards the earth. No need to try too hard here. Let the body naturally feel the gravity harmonizing with the earth, harmonizing with the world around. Then bend the knees and bring them in towards the chest. Feel the stretch in the lower back. Release the knees and come into a restful Shavasana for just a few moments here. Taking a comfortable position. Letting the mind be completely within the body. Stable, balanced, spacious. Relax down through the back of the neck and the front of the throat, the jaws and tongue. Soft through shoulders, shoulder blades, down through the lower back to the hips. Soft in the thighs, calves, and bottom of the feet. Palms open, soft through forearms, upper arms, and shoulders. Everything soft, harmonious, awash in gentleness and nonviolence. I'll ring the bell twice, stay relaxed. Lengthen your breathing and bring some movement to fingers and toes. Perhaps roll the wrists and the ankles. Coming back into the everyday time of your life. Bring knees up to your chest. Pause for a moment of compassion to yourself and for those around you. Roll over and come to a brief sitting position. Hands to heart center. May we be spacious. May we be safe. May we be gentle with our bodies and mind. And may we give space to ourselves and all those around us. Namaste. Thanks for practicing. It was nice to have you, and I hope you have a very non-violent day. See you the next time.